Day 4 of Lent, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give it up for day 4. So, here's the rundown of what I wanted to say, ladies and gentlemen. And, a lot of these sort of videos are just to give you an idea about exactly why I want to do these sort of videos in this way. Let me just explain to you. As a Roman Catholic, truth to tell, ladies and gentlemen, I had a lot of issues with my faith last year, and a lot of things that I absolutely would have told people about. But the first person I actually really talked to about my faith actually was a priest, ironically enough. And, well, let's just say that the experience I had was so short and so unprofessional that I almost vowed actually just to keep all of my thoughts and my opinions to myself. I'm doing it in this way, ladies and gentlemen, so that when the day finally comes and actually people start to question me about who I am and what I believe in, I'll be able to turn to them and say, quite frankly, I know what I believe in because it's just been demonstrated. And I think that's sort of my repose, as it were, for how we're going to go forward. In particular, ladies and gentlemen, one of the biggest things I was told in the last couple of months is that bad things happen to good people because they choose to do absolutely nothing. And as I look around the world today, ladies and gentlemen, I constantly have to ask myself, am I absolutely certain that there was absolutely nothing I could have done to prevent any of this? Deep down, ladies and gentlemen, I think there are ways I can prevent a lot of the bad things that are happening. In fact, I know this to such an extent that I'm now even going through ideas in the top of my head to seeing exactly what can be done. I mean, I could donate money to, food banks. I think that's quite a pretty good start. Because, trust me, ladies and gentlemen, the last thing I need right now is more food. And you know what? As the old saying goes, those who get are all, as much as there are those who get, there are those who are getting without. And I think it would that would soothe my soul for the moment to actually do something charitable, and it's that might be a good mention. Aside from doing stuff for charity, the biggest charitable deed I can do for myself, ladies and gentlemen, is simply let people know about sort of what's going on in here, because I'm sort of running out of people, or even running out of time. I can actually share my thoughts, and I can engage a kind of response. The biggest problem I currently face, ladies and gentlemen, is not that I'm going into a lot of changes in my life and a lot of different phases on my own. But I feel as if like the things that are going on are just the things that are fundamentally like on the surface. It's nothing about like, oh, what's going on in here, or what's going on, with my camera, or anything like that. That's actually going on to the things I actually care about. It's a great shame, ladies and gentlemen, because I would deep down absolutely love nothing more than some company to actually share these opinions with and thoughts. The problem I just feel like I kind of face more than anything is that, like I said, I know exactly from like that exactly how I could put things right. I know exactly who I could turn to. I know exactly the things I want to say. The problem with it all, ladies and gentlemen, is that, is it really going to solve all my problems? That's because that's a different ball game. Is that as good as it is to, let people know about my problems, I would actually like my problems to have some kind of resolution. I'd like to know, for example, am I ever going to be a success on YouTube at all? Am I actually going to say things that actually matter to people? Am I actually going to talk about the things that actually matter to people? Am I actually going to do with anything of any significance that might, just maybe, transform or change somebody's life for the better? I think the phrase is like burnt a little bit. That's what I feel like the situation is. I feel like I'm being burnt at both ends. I'm being burnt because I have all this work, I have all this pressure, I have all this to be applied to, and I have all these things that I got to be told to do, like, you know, look for other work and try to make what I can work and save as much as I can, as well as trying to get all of my YouTube videos out in a timely and dignified manner. Sticking to doing the 4 videos a day, for example, is the main crux of it. The other end of the candle, ladies and gentlemen, is the things that I promised myself I would keep on top of. The things that I want to keep a watch on, and the things that deep down I want to do for the sake of pleasure. The ones that I can make my own and seek some kind of, you know, response from the community about. The problem I have, ladies and gentlemen, is, well, time. That's the biggest crux of the situation. I've mentioned yesterday that I've got 17 weeks and 6 days to go today. Soon it will be tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, so soon it will only be 17 weeks and 5 days. And during that period, ladies and gentlemen, several substantial things have got to happen. It's not a question of will they happen, they have got to happen. And I don't know if I'm running out of time. I don't know if I've literally set my standards too high again and I'll only ever be met with disappointment. That's another big thing I may have failed to disclose before, ladies and gentlemen. Failure and disappointment are absolutely nothing new in my life. But I can't afford to live the remainder of my life, ladies and gentlemen, in those parameters. Being disappointed made me feel miserable and horrendously upset before. So what am I going to do, ladies and gentlemen? I'm going to stop being upset. I'm going to stop being miserable. I'm going to stop being disappointed. You know how I'm going to stop being disappointed, ladies and gentlemen? By making sure this does not fail. I will put in the time. I will put in the graft. I will put in the effort. Not just into the things I need to, but also the things that I actually want to bring to the surface. All the stories I want to share with you. All the creativeness that is still ringing in my body from head to toe. There's way too much, ladies and gentlemen, I've got to give, and there's still an entire lifetime of material that you guys have not seen. As difficult as it might seem, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm thinking difficulty for myself here just for the moment, I will say that I think I've gone through harder situations before, but unlike previous situations, there is one benefit I do have that a lot of people, I think, should pick up on. I have experience in difficulty. I've known what it's like to be in these situations before, ladies and gentlemen. I'm also very familiar of the emotions that I go through whenever we get to these sort of problems or these sort of turning points in life. In that in a situation like that, ladies and gentlemen, there's only one thing I can do, and that's work, ladies and gentlemen. There is no substitute for it. I have got to work. Because, ladies and gentlemen, there is work to be done. There is always more work.